Hello, 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 and welcome to the show. This is Wrestling with Entertainment. Your referee for this next bout, James J. In the blue corner, representing WWE, Coleco. Yeah.
Oh God! Everyone keeps saying I represent WWE. I just consider myself the realest person in the room.
Oh, but then I'm the
Then you'd be
realist.
Ezo Amore, and nobody wants to be Ezo Amore.
At this point, I'm getting treated like Enzo Amore.
No, you're not. You don't understand certain aspects that corporations take away from creativity. But anyway,
Okay,
go ahead.
And in the red corner, representing AEW,
Too sweet.
Mitch Mayhem.
What's up, everybody? Hope you all are having a good day.
And last week we did a special Friday show. It was the first Not Safe for Work edition because it got posted at 11 o'clock at night.
Good.
The BET Uncut edition, as we used to say back down south.
Exactly. Okay. And got up at 7 o'clock in the morning. Drove like 4 hours to get to the show. Got to the show. Watched the show, and then
we were thinking of you. I was thinking of you when I saw it.
Drove
I knew you were
another 4 hours back the same night.
That's you're a freaking trooper for that.
Yeah,
because I couldn't. Yeah, I couldn't do it.
Yeah, I would have stayed overnight.
Yeah, it knocked me on my ass. I'm like super sick now.
If nothing else, just like for the festivities, I would have stayed overnight. But yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, I can do extra festivities. I only could afford to do the show at that point.
Oh, gotcha. Oh, okay, yeah, I hear you.
Well, even then, like I could see you like getting there and then getting back, and you're trying to beat traffic on the way back.
And that's a bit with LA.
It's a bit. You know what? You live in California, bro. It's like a 45-minute flight. Take that bit.
I know, right? But the flights are fucking expensive, though.
Not from Southwest. It's like 100.
You'd be surprised.
About 100, 200 round trip.
200? That's bullshit. Oh, round trip. Okay, I was gonna say. That's if you did 200, that's a 400 round trip. Fuck that.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like 200 round trip, just fly there, fly back, bam, bam.
It was either take a flight or get a T-shirt.
Oh, take a flight or get a T-shirt?
Wait, I didn't hear him. What'd you say?
Take a flight or get a T-shirt.
Very funny.
So I took Coleco's son once again.
I went to I bought this fucking plane ticket and all I got was a shitty T-shirt.
Well, hey, at least you get Cinnabon, and that will break the bank. Let me just tell you that.
Oh yeah.
Daddy, I go to potty.
And
there's our right on cue. There's our mascot.
Yeah, the unofficial fourth member of Wrestling with Entertainment.
Right.
And just a quick recap of the Super Juniors. Shingo Takagi and Ishimori will has fought tonight at 3 o'clock.
Ishimori. Okay,
yeah, and they'll that will determine who's the winner of the A block.
The winner of the Okay.
So we will cover all those matches next week.
Next week.
Yeah.
Okay, sounds good.
Of course.
Nah, we got a lot for now, so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
we got our plate full.
So sorry, Mitch. No Mayhem report. We can't do it. We have to go straight to the main event. We have to go straight to what everybody wants to know. We are wrestling with AEW Double or Nothing. It took place at the MGM Grand in front of 20,000 attendees, the largest non-WWE event ever. and the opening match was the Casino Battle Royal. What do we think of the Casino Battle Royal, guys?
Okay, real quick.
So did-
How like last week, I just want to make something clear. Like, Coleco gets on me for not being, more like critical of this new product, in the indie scene. I just want to make sure that it's known that there were definitely hiccups. I saw definite hiccups in the production, but they're picking it up. They're seeing as they go. Tony Khan timed the show by himself for the first time ever trying and got it 15 minutes before they went off. Perfect. I mean, but things like people not going out when the diamond set of people in the Casino Battle Royal were to come out, that was like delayed, 2 or 3 minutes? And
Yeah,
there's a
but
few
they
things
all,
like that happened.
all the shows do that.
Right. Thank you. Mess ups are going to happen. What they do, though, AEW, the people running it, I believe, are good at is taking those things, and instead of like making it worse, they focus on those and they make it better for the next show. And so I think, that stuff will happen again, in my opinion. They're going to, live and learn, and they're going to move on and have that in their peripheral, so to speak.
And I just like to say, All In, the original show that started all this, they had a lot of help from Ring of Honor and New Japan.
They didn't have that was before they had
definitely
any of their
helped them.
infrastructure from Tony and the billionaires running the AEW show.
Well, no, what I'm trying to say was that they had people that could help them and they could lean on a little bit.
Without having to shoulder the burden themselves, right?
Yeah, so this
But
was
they
like the
wanted
first
that.
time
This was
that
the-
they were on their own, no net.
Right.
Yeah.
And I thought they had, for what like their first show ever and everything, I think they hit a home run.
Well,
Go ahead, Coleco. Get it out of your system.
To me, this opener match was no different than Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal.
But Hangman is going to be a future star, and it's set up.
Hold
on. It's historical because it's the first ever AEW match. It's going to set a precedent, and then Hangman Page and Jericho leading up. Adam Page is a future world champion, regardless, and I think he's getting his chance way before he would have in WWE. So we'll see if he's ready.
Okay. The only thing that got the incentive was that the winner was going to be the number one contender.
That's
right?
a big incentive.
Like that's no different than the Royal Rumble. But here's my point. But here's my point, because
Rumble is a huge event.
I understand everybody's like hype about this match. Everybody's in the honeymoon about this event, and rightfully so, because who wouldn't want more options?
But this is before the storm, the calm before the storm. This is before the TV. This is before all the advertising hits. This is before all of that, and they're already shaking WWE in terms of. Well, okay,
hell no, they ain't shaking.
I'll tell you. They have changed the economy of wrestling. WWE now has to pay them 4 to 5 times what they were paying them just to keep them interested, because they don't treat their wrestlers half as good as AEW and Indies do, and so that's not in their favor. They have to
wait a minute,
throw a lot of money at their feet.
Wait. So how is AEW treating them well when this is their first event ever? This is
all I need to say. Just listen to the Dean Ambrose Talkers Jericho interview. Just listen to that, and that's what I've been saying. Hear me out. Me and all my friends have been saying what Dean said for years.
I have, and you know who else said that? CM Punk 4 years ago.
But he was salty. Dean waited. No bullshit. He waited. He nicely went out, and then he said what happened after he was outside of the tent. And he didn't say fuck you or anything. He just said, this is horrible what happened to me, and it needs to change. There's nothing wrong with that.
But to me, it's
that's the only way you're going to better the wrestling economy, the wrestling creative mindset, and the only way you're going to get Vince to see he can't rely on his laurels from 20 fucking years ago. He's got to change with the times, damn it.
Well, everyone's gonna change with the times, but all I'm saying is,
no, not Vince. He's immune to it.
Everyone's gonna,
because he's rich and he's covered with yes men. Built an infrastructure for himself since Vince Russo left, so he has never had to deal with relying on someone too much. He likes that red tape shit around him because then he feels like a king.
He was that bad, right? He was that bad in the 80s and the 90s. He was that bad, right? Like, I feel like...
I didn't say he was that bad. He had to be pushed by competition, though, to make changes, and that's just the fact.
What competition? Because in the 80s, it really wasn't.
I'm talking about WCW. I'm talking about the 90s. What happened in the 90s, they started going down when Nitro came up, and they finally made a change for the Attitude into the Attitude Era, and that's what changed it all. But Vince was kicking and screaming the whole way. There was 2-3 years where he didn't want to do anything.
But with that, they also was in a transitional period because of the whole steroid trial thing.
Exactly.
So they had to freeze everything.
No, that was done by 94, 95. I'm talking 97, 98.
Yeah,
That's 3 to 4 years later.
In order to, and then in 96, Nitro came and started kicking their ass.
95.
95.
95.
Yeah, so
September 95.
But they didn't have the resources and the money to put into the big company to do that. But we're getting ahead.
So, yeah, they did. Yes, they did. Oh, yes, they did.
They did.
Yes, they did.
They didn't become
WWE got rich after WrestleMania 4 and 5, like super rich. Like 3, 4, and 5 made them millionaires.
Well, a lot of money went into the steroid trial. But
that didn't affect their money. Bullshit. No, I know better.
Okay.
I know about that. Yeah.
This match was no different than the Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal or a Battle Royal match. Now, I'm going to say, personally, it did do nothing for me. Other than the second half of this pay-per-view, the second half of this pay-per-view picked it up. But
with the mindset that you're kind of stuck in, there's nothing I can say to get you to see what I'm saying. It's just going to have to develop with you over time. You're going to have to come to that own conclusion.
Okay. Put it this way. Okay. Jay, you went to the New Japan show with me, right? You went to the New Japan show along with what I did, right? In Long Beach, right?
Yes, I was there.
What was different between that show and Double or Nothing?
Oh. What are you getting at the...
Because everybody keeps going, oh, AEW is not WWE. But the question I asked that no one answered, no one answers is, other than being not WWE, what did AEW do to stand themselves out from a...
I'll tell you, they basically unified the indie scene into one big group. And now they are basically becoming unified, that whole indie scene. And that's what I've been saying needed to happen for years. And that's what's happening. No, ROH and New Japan, Impact, the infrastructure of non-signed people, they're all coming together and seeing that they have a vested interest. That's why Moxley, I almost called him Ambrose, Moxley is working New Japan, and because they are working together, AEW, New Japan, and ROH, and Impact.
No, they're just keeping it on. New Japan said they are not working with AEW.
Yeah, they said they aren't. New Japan are not.
Are you gonna believe everything that a wrestling company owner tells you?
Obviously, you are with AEW, so I mean, what's the difference?
I'm going with what I've seen. That's bullshit. Because I'm going with what I've seen, not with what anyone's told me. If they tell me something, I wait for actions to back that up, and then I go with that. So I'm just telling
I think everybody's waiting for actions to back it up.
I'm behind the scenes on some stuff. Okay, go ahead.
But Hangman won this battle royal. It set him up because that's pretty much, hey, we're gonna make up for the Pac thing, because I think that's why Pac left in the first place, because I think the company.
You want to learn?
Hangman paid creative
differences. I can tell you what happened. No, go for it. They told Pac early. Pac still wants to work for them. but he doesn't want to lose, especially that he's too hot. And they told him Page goes over. He has to if this happens. So they gently, and professionally came to an agreement. We'll bring you in later. This way, you don't have to lose the Page and have your push get killed by a loss. You know what I mean? So that's why.
I just think Pac was trying to rep Dragon Gate really hard.
But see, if you can do that, if you can work with big names to like say, yeah, maybe this isn't the time, but in a few months from now it is. That's WWE doesn't do that. Oh my God, what Dean Ambrose said is just so much of it is what I've heard from almost all my friends, even people still working there, that they sound like prisoners. They're like, please don't say this before they tell me. So I'm like, wow, man, they are fearful for their jobs, and now there's an alternative, so they can be a little less fearful of just being themselves. And if something wrong happens, at least acknowledging it, or professionally. But because I do see your aspect of it too, but I'm telling you, the change that's happened in not just the pay scale, but how wrestlers and wrestling fans are being treated. It wasn't going to come from WWE. Like I said for a few years, it only was going to come from competition pushing WWE to change their own product. That's the only way WWE is going to get better. For me, AEW is what I've been wanting. So
next match, Kip Sabian defeated Sammy Guevara. You know, it was a pre-show match.
It was a match.
Yeah, see, but this was like the holy grail, right? Like, but that's my point. No, but this is my point, because if any other company did it that way, everyone would have been shitting on them, especially WWE. But
this is their very first.
AEW,
you gotta give them a little.
You gotta give them some leeway. No, hell no. If you coming out the show, no, hell no. I'm looking at everything critically, just like I look at everything with WWE critically. Because if you're coming out telling me that they're the greatest thing since sliced bread, then damn it.
I didn't say that. I said there are alternative. You're saying that, Coleco. You're twisting what I'm saying and saying that.
No. I'm not twisting what you're saying. I'm just that was the general. That's the general feel of.
Hear me out. Some people also think that the world is flat. Does that mean we give them credence? Do you get my point? Like, don't give them credence.
That ain't got nothing to do with. That ain't got nothing to do with this AEW thing.
My point is that just because people think stupid things doesn't mean you have to give that stupid thing credence by defending. Oh no, you see what I'm saying? That's what I'm saying.
All right.
Yeah, because I agree. Like, you brought that up last week. Like, that's not being argued by me. I agree with you on that. So anyone who's saying that is retarded, in my opinion.
Yeah, that's the thing. It's not the point that the show was, because to me the show was not too high, not too low, roughly in the middle, right?
Right. I thought there would be more surprises. Honestly,
it was in the middle.
I thought there would be more surprises. I'll be honest.
But people will like sell it like it was better than fucking WrestleMania 38 or something like that, right?
You know what? I'll be honest. I gave it a little more hype than I got out of it, to be honest. But that tells you how much.
Really?
That tells you how much that I am hyped up for AEW as a whole and what they've done for the industry. It was an okay show. It was a good start.
They ain't done shit yet till
they gotta get better, and they will get better.
Yeah.
Till that show gets started.
The first match on the actual
what did you hear me say? I said my expectations weren't really met yet. I was more hyped for it than what I got out of it, but I think that'll get better as time goes on.
Okay, so the first match on the actual card is SoCal Uncensored. They defeated Strong Hearts, Chima, T-Hawk, and El Lindaman.
The OEW crew, the Shanghai Chinese wrestlers, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, practically had them job out the SCU.
They did.
So
hold on, I'll back up like WWE on this. Like when they talk about nepotism, they gave Hangman Page the Joker card and then he comes in and wins that to me was a little like, come on, man. If you're gonna go up against WWE and say they're nepotists, don't. But Cody loves nepotism. If you saw his interview, he believes it. So yeah, and you could see that they believe in it by seeing the show, because Young Bucks won, Cody won, and Hangman won.
Hangman won. And SCU won.
We'll talk about that in a moment. But we're talking about SCU right now.
I just want Coleco to know it's not lost on me, man. I just have a brighter a brighter outlook of like what's coming down the pipeline.
You watched this pay-per-view with rose-colored glasses, Mitch.
I think everyone did. I don't think Mitch did. No. Let me defend Mitch. Okay. I don't think he did. I don't think he looked at it with rose-colored glasses. But I think the majority of everybody, I say 99.9% of everybody, looked at it with rose-colored glasses.
And
because the business 101 is you set expectations low so that way you could jump the bar. But I think everyone's expectation was high. The first 3-4 matches were blah. And everybody's going, oh, it's the greatest thing since sliced bread. And I'm like, no, that's not what I'm seeing. Like, so I'll give Mitch his credit. He put up some points where there was points of criticism.
Real quick. Also, like, and I'm not bragging, I'm just saying there's a difference with me and other people because I have behind the scenes, like I see stuff behind the scenes that a lot of people don't see. Number two, who doesn't want to see their friends succeed, right?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I mean, that's
I love them.
There's nothing, and that's what I'm saying. There's nothing wrong with that. Like, I am not against, like, people rooting for other people to succeed or being biased because you want to see somebody succeed. But me having no...
I mean, I don't know the Young Bucks. No people in that circle, in the circles.
Yeah, me having no ties to it, I'm allowed to see it objectively. Well,
right. And I hear you. I think I see it effectively too. A lot of stuff for future makes me like finally there's stuff to look forward to. If that makes any sense, because I feel like it will push WWE to better their product eventually.
But my thing is, if I look at it objectively, that doesn't mean I'm a WWE homer. Like,
I didn't say that. I know.
No. But that's the census. That I'm telling you, I've been getting the smoke. I've been here popping off smokes with everybody. So to me, I'm sitting there going, just because I look at it from an objective eye, oh, he's a WWE homer or they're WWE homers. It's like, no, this is one show. You're comparing their pay-per-view to a Raw. You're better off comparing their pay-per-view to Money in the Bank, to a pay-per-view, apples to apples.
They acknowledge that $50 is a lot of money, and they said, we're not going to do it every month. We understand that. We're asking you to pay $50. And if we're asking you to pay $50, it's got to be worth it. So that was very refreshing to hear.
Oh, no. I'm not knocking that. But people are comparing something to a pay-per-view, which is pretty much they're comparing it to a TV show. And I'm like, no, wait till their TV show. I don't know
what other people compare it to, but
to the TV show, right? Like,
other people don't know what they're talking about. That's why they're other people.
Yeah, that's the issue. But it's like, but the thing is like, I feel like this is like a Iron Man, Captain America, Civil War. You remember the Avengers when it's where it feels like a Civil War. It's like, oh my God, you're with that WWE BS and blah, 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 blah. And then watch tomorrow at TakeOver. I'm going to hear those same people over there talking about Adam Cole, baby.
And then you got even amongst all this, you got I'm going to be nice. You got someone like Vince Russo saying, oh, it's all a work.
Don't even get me started.
That guy, dude, he is so, like, it's bad of, like, how publicity whore he is. Like, how big of a publicity whore he can be.
Okay, back to the match. SoCal Uncensored.
That was me being nice. That was me being nice.
And all honesty, it was actually a really good match. But not knowing who Strong Hearts actually is definitely soured me a little bit on the match.
Right, because it feels like you brought interest to a bunch of jobbers. You might as well
I'll tell you real quick. They told me, I'll speak for us to be. I think you agree with me. They told us that there's amazing moves that we've never seen before. I never saw any of that.
Yes.
Yeah, that's what.
The only move I saw was the Jericho move, but we'll get to that when we.
But I've seen that before in wrestling as a whole.
Yeah, but this match, I mean, it was good for what it is. Because, I mean, SEU's supposed to be heel, and they are over like Rover, and you brought all these people. You know it's bad
wanting to come over
when the Japanese group is coming out second, and I'm like, oh, it's over. And SEU's coming out first, and they get like the heroes welcome, and they're supposed to be the villains.
Yeah, they should have booked it. They booked the Strong Hearts as faces, and that was the wrong way to go.
Exactly, and they got them coming out, and everybody's like, "Who the fuck are these guys?"
I agree, but it's better than a lot of the creative recently from WWE. I'm sorry, it is.
That's no different than what Ryback was doing, going to get beating up jobbers. I'm just saying, like, I can everything in this match, I can pinpoint to something. You know what I'm saying? That if another company did,
I don't care what others say, though, Coleco. This was not the all end all be all. This was just a starting point.
It's not for you. It's for those.
I know, but I'm just explaining to you from where I'm coming from.
Oh yeah, no, I'm not attacking you. It's attacking the system. We get to the root of this tonight.
When you say that, I just gotta go quiet because it's not for me. I've already said all I get on that.
Next match up, Britt Baker, Nyla Rose, Kylie Ray, and a surprise fourth entrant, Awesome Kong.
This might be my second highest pop of the night.
Your second highest?
Yeah. I love it, dude. I met Kong. She's one of the nicest fucking people. I was so glad to see her back.
I never met Awesome Kong. I've seen her wrestle before.
She's a bad bitch.
She
commands respect for real too in real life.
Bound for Glory 09, I saw her wrestle ODB, and
I respect the fuck out of her.
Yeah, it was good to see her, but it seems like she lost like a lot of weight.
Oh yeah, because she was for Glow when she's
on Glow. So.
Oh really?
And she lost a lot of weight before that. Yeah, you didn't know that she lost
the weight. And then she got
Glow is what the character Welfare Queen. You'll see. If you've ever seen it, watch it.
If you ever watch Glow. Yeah.
And you'll be shocked because she looks nothing like Awesome Kong. Like
I'm out of the loop.
You'll guess that was Awesome Kong without her braids and stuff like that.
I mean, it was good to see. It was good to see her.
Yeah, it was a good pop.
I love seeing her. I thought she was retired.
Good pop. Okay match. Speaking of Adam Cole, Mrs. Cole with the win.
Hold on real quick. She is someone that should be up there with a China in terms of name recognition. But she was so misused and not done right by WWE when they brought her in, and then she got pregnant to where they just said screw you. She is the most overlooked female wrestler maybe of all time in terms of what the WWE and others could have done with her, because TNA did a whole hell of a lot with her.
Oh my god, her matches with Gail Kim. That was the start of the women's revolution right there.
Thank you. Yeah, okay. What people don't realize is the women's revolution started it started in 2006, 2007, 2008 with the TNA knockouts.
Oh, without doubt.
Because you had hot women like Velvet Sky and Angelina Love also kicking ass in wrestling really well.
Yeah, Mickey James was there for a high level.
Velvet Sky. Back then, oh my god. That was like right to the young 20-something-year-old's heart, bro.
Okay. Next match. Best Friends, Chucky T and Trent Beretta defeated Angelico and Jack Evans.
This was the fart in the wind. What happened at the end?
Could I I'd like to say that this match actually made me physically sick.
What, the ending or the ending?
No. Seeing them in those incredibly bright green outfits and moving around
That's
so
what they've
fast.
always been in since Lucha Underground and before. That's if you knew Jack Evans and Helico, you would have known.
Oh no, I
They've
know.
always-
I know Jack Evans. I love Jack Evans.
But you didn't know in Helico. He's amazing, though. He really is.
Yeah, no, he was great. And all
Yeah,
honestly,
he didn't get to show what he's really capable of, to be honest. But go ahead.
and all honestly, he's they
He's like-
really was
he's
the
like a
stars of this
level.
match. At the beginning, there was no nobody really cared about the match, but Angelico and Jack Evans brought it to the part where
Right.
where the crowd was chanting, "This is awesome."
Right.
Yeah.
Because the passion they put into their moves. Right.
Yeah, because they're just really good wrestlers, and they proved it.
Right.
It kind of seemed like, if in all honesty, it seemed like best friends were just watching them.
They didn't
wrestle.
have a great showing. I agree.
Yeah.
Yeah, because
But also their style, since Trent Beretta slowed down his style from like more high flying stuff to more technical stuff. Stuff that's technical when you got high spots and high spot monkeys like that all over a show. It's gonna look boring because that's the only grappling done,
Yeah.
So like in terms of just an overall look at it. It's hard to explain, but yeah.
Well, I'm hoping
I can't come up with the exact words.
they said on commentary that Evans and Angelico, they hope that they'll be a part of the roster for years to come. I hope that's the.
They're open. They're open deals. They're not written yet.
Yeah, well, I hope that's the case because I want to see a lot more of Jack Evans. I need.
Jack
to see
Evans is
some Jack
38.
Evans.
Jack Evans has been wrestling since 2002. I've wrestled at 4 cards with Jack Evans. So Jack Evans has been overlooked so much.
Without a
I thought
doubt.
he was never going to. I honestly thought he was never going to get his shot. Besides Lucha Underground.
I kind of always felt like he was the Ricochet Will Ospreay before there was Will Ospreay.
Yes, he was.
Yeah, and he doesn't get recognition for that.
Him and Frankie Kazarian, like in 2005, 2004, him and Frankie Kazarian.
Yeah, and you can't fucking find him anywhere. He they blooped him
Thank
off the
you.
Vestiarch.
That's because of the people. Like he's a loyal guy, and you know how people punish you for sometimes the people that you hang around with, regardless if they don't like that person. And he's like pretty much best friends with Teddy Hart. And Teddy has had past problems, but he's fixed them all. You can't judge a person for their past. If they have bettered themselves, you got to give them a chance. And in a lot of respects, I respect Teddy more than I do Brett. Honestly,
yeah,
it's a weird dichotomy with that family, but you'd have to understand to know. But yeah, or know to understand. I mean,
the Harts are a complicated lot.
Oh my God!
Yeah, I wouldn't even try to fathom to actually
know them.
They
don't even talk. They don't even talk, Teddy and Brett.
Really?
Oh yeah. They haven't talked to you.
We'll save that maybe for another time. At the end of the match, the lights went out and Super Smash Brothers came up. Evil Uno and Steel Grayson made.
Honestly.
Huh?
I didn't know who the fuck that was, honestly.
Oh, well, you are missing out, Mitch, because these guys are off the chain. They are.
But I wasn't alone in not knowing who they were.
No, there was people at the show that were chanting, "Who are you?"
Yeah, and that's my point. Like
I told you that was the fart in the wind of the show.
But
all these
big fart.
But I popped for them. I like them.
The thing with WWE is with the Shane McMahon shit and other stuff, they have like numerous parts on a weekly basis. So parts in the wind.
But this is
but if we're going to be critical of them, I have the right to be critical of them as well.
You absolutely do.
Okay, I'm gonna have to disagree with you guys. Super Smash Brothers are awesome. They are a great tag team.
They were awesome, but the way that they came out, like, who the fuck is this? You gotta wait. Hold on. You gotta introduce the people who don't know who the hell they are. Like, what is their style? Why is there such a buzz?
It was like the announcers didn't even know who the hell
because
they were.
they even did that for Private Party, but not Super Smash Brothers.
Because and listening to the commentary, it was like it almost like they were trying to figure out who was gonna say what. Like I don't know.
Speaking of commentary, I do not like Alex. What the fuck is his name? He is so dull and bland.
Yeah. What do you have to have
I
a
do
dull
not
guy?
like him. I don't. He has no energy to it. I don't like him at all.
I don't like his facial hair.
I just don't like his announcing skills. I think he's a horrible announcer. I hope they replace him.
Okay, so we will see.
He's not the best of the job.
The reason I was going to say the Super Smash Brothers, the reason that they didn't name them, I think, is they don't have copyrights on their names. I don't think that they know if they're going to name them. They don't know what they're going to name them yet. That's what I was going to get to.
Gonna call them the Super Smash Experience.
Guys, I was trying to finish up on the last.
Super Smash Vikings.
Very funny. No, but real quick, before we got to this topic, I was trying to finish up on the last one. I would, whatever his name is, Alex Marvez, I would replace him with Matt Stryker.
Oh, yeah, that'd be great. I like Matt.
I do too. I've met him quite a few times. Well, not quite a few times, not huge. Not quite a few. You gotta be real.
What's the happy medium between a few times and quite a few times?
Yeah, 2 or 3 times is a few times. Quite a few times is like you know each other on a name basis.
Okay.
First name basis. Yeah.
All right, thanks for clearing that up. Okay, next match, the Japanese women 6-woman tag match. I'm not even going to try and pronounce any of their names.
Yeah, because everyone was on their edge of their seat for this one, buddy. Woo-hoo!
I'm sorry, I didn't hear my audio cut out. Say that again. What match is it?
They were on the edge
match. The 6
for this match.
Oh yeah. Okay, real quick. Okay, I've been trying to figure out how to say this this whole week, so I'm just gonna be careful as fuck about it. I don't know if it's gonna come out right, so I'm gonna just be probably not gonna say exactly what I mean to say, but yeah, I didn't know much about Nyla Rose until now. I guess and it's okay that she's a transsexual woman. That's fine, but I don't believe if she was a man, I don't think she should be in the ring with women. I don't think that's fair. I think it showed you could tell it's a man's body with women, in my opinion. That was just me. That's just me.
So.
Me personally, I just feel like the crowd wasn't into this match, and
you just skipped over that. Good job.
No, I'm dead serious. With the
I mean after what I just said, you kind of just like.
Oh yeah, the whole trans thing. I usually I don't have bro. If you want to do what you do. It's not.
I don't
like.
No, but here's the thing. That there is a debate though, like because if they have genes and scientific like structures of a man, they shouldn't be facing women. You know what I'm saying? That's what I'm saying.
I agree with you, but that's a very gray area in today's world.
I know.
The slippery slope. Only thing different is just the hormones, really, because everything else is the same between men.
No, there's the bone structure. No, bone structure, hormones and bone structure, which is a lot. But especially when it comes to physical activities.
With physical activity, I get it. But
it's what it is. I'm fine. I don't hate on her at all. I just think it's not safe, but it's okay. I'm fine with it.
I mean, if it's up to the women. If the women feel like they're comfortable with it, let them be.
They obviously feel comfortable with it, or they wouldn't have done it. So
yeah,
right. But I feel like this crowd wasn't. Yeah.
That's fine. Yeah.
If there was ever a piss break match,
I've never heard of Nyla Rose before this ever.
If it was ever a piss break match for this card, this was that match. Unfortunately.
And real quick, Britt Baker was the only returning woman from All In, and she was, like, in my opinion, the fourth. Like, she was, like, the last one of those 4 to win that match back then. And she's like, because of WWE basically and others purged all of the good women talent.
Yeah.
Except they got Priestley, B. Priestley, under contract, but she wasn't a Double or nothing. But yeah, but because of that, they got to go with what they got, and so they're pushing Britt Baker. So.
And
Britt Baker is one of their best friend Adam Cole's wife. So
yeah.
nepotism.
You're probably going to see her in WWE sometime, somewhere down the line.
Oh, no. Not especially if this succeeds. If AEW succeeds, no, I don't think you will ever see her in WWE if AEW succeeds.
Well, we might see Adam Cole back in AEW. Yeah.
That we might see, because I'll tell you what the difference is. Okay. In terms of a wrestler's point of view and their thought, in terms of like, where should I go? Okay. Both are now, for the first time ever, somewhere else besides WWE is paying well, or just as much, if not more. Okay, so that is now not a factor, which used to be the only big factor in WWE's favor. Now, in everyone else's, especially AEW's favor, is the treatment of people, how you treat people, how well they're taken care of, and that is all big time in the favor of AEW. So
after one show,
no. About their infrastructure, how they run things, and how they have changed the infrastructure of other companies just by what they're doing. They have made the pay for someone literally quadruple, if not 4 or 5 times overnight in January when they announced.
I'm making double or nothing. I have a dream speech of wrestling. I swear to God.
It bettered the economy by ×5. The only reason they weren't being paid that money is because they didn't have to pay the wrestlers that kind of money, and that's what I'm talking about. It now is pushing WWE to treat the people right, because they have to. They have to at least match not just payment, but how they treat people and how in creative. And Vince has, that's a big thing, because Vince is too much in control, and he doesn't like giving up control, and they don't like that. Go to the Dean Ambrose Tuggers Jericho thing to learn all about that stuff if you haven't heard about it.
If I was the owner, I wouldn't want to give up control either.
I mean, John Moxley, he's not saying stuff about him. He's saying stuff that's happened to him that I know has happened to numerous other people that I've heard, but it's on the down low.
But yet everyone still goes. I don't get it. If they're that bad, if they're that horrible, if they're
until now there wasn't a backup. Now,
there was a backup. Cody,
money-wise, not money-wise. No, not money-wise. WWE paid way more than that, all of them combined. Not now. Not now they don't. But
okay, so I have something interesting to ask you guys. This, obviously this 6-woman tag match really didn't have any heat. I think the people got into it a little bit at the end, but not much.
With the timekeeper?
Honestly, that's the one match I haven't even watched yet.
Yeah.
They got interested.
I tuned out immediately.
With that being said, should they have put a 6-man tag match with MJF, Jimmy Havoc, and Jungle Boy? Because people fucking popped for those guys.
But they needed those names for, I get it, for the Battle Royal, because they needed names for the Battle Royal.
They wanted to get the people to get started to hype.
Otherwise, when Hangman came out, if it wasn't already obvious when it came out at Joker, it would have been obvious if you didn't have a Jimmy Havoc or if you didn't have an MJF. You know what I mean? Or Joey Janela.
That's true, if you look, but still, people wanted to see those guys in more of a featured role. I wanted to see those guys in a more featured role.
I think Luchasaurus is the big winner of that, in my opinion.
Oh,
in terms of like coming out of nowhere, his character came out of nowhere. I know who he is, but
I'm looking forward to seeing more of him. Whether it's in Ring of Honor or AEW.
I just want to see more of him because I used to see him wrestle. I used to, he's Roman Austin, as Judas Devlin.
Kayfabe, Mitch, kayfabe.
Yeah, I know. That's why I said Judas Devlin. And
you said his real name first.
It was an accident. No, move on. You're focusing on it, and now everyone's fucking knowing about it. Damn it.
Okay. All right. Let's get to the next match.
Just ignores it.
Next match, Cody defeated Dustin Rhodes. So I'm gonna start out by talking about this match. The beginning of the match felt okay. Like there wasn't. I don't think people were that much into it until the blood came into the match.
Exactly.
And yeah, it heightened the drama. It made it a little bit more interesting. But and then at the end of the match, everybody was like, "Oh my god, just stop the fucking match! This man needs to go to the hospital. He needs a blood transfusion." It went from dramatic to gory.
But that was the old school. Okay, I'll just tell you where.
You didn't mean to cut it.
No, well, I'll tell you where I think maybe he did, because here's my opinion of his mindset. He doesn't have what they all have in terms of athleticism anymore, so he's got to go the second step in terms of physicality. And so he's got to hold on real quick. He's got to quote unquote paint a picture, if you will, and he did. He painted a very bloody picture.
Do you want to eat, Bubba?
Sorry, go ahead now.
I think it was way too much. I think they went way...
He might have accidentally cut himself.
Do you want mac and cheese? Do you want rice?
I'm sorry, hold on. He accidentally kicked himself too much.
Yeah.
Yeah, add that to the fact.
We can't hear you, Coleco. We can't hear you, bud.
Have you ever seen that movie Mighty Python and the Holy Grail?
Quick, Coleco, we can't hear you, buddy, just so you know.
No, I'm here.
Yeah.
Okay, now we can hear you. We can hear you. We heard you in the background. Okay, go ahead.
All I know is that they made it bloody obvious that he was cutting. Like, the camera angles weren't like great.
Yeah, it was obvious. Yeah, it was obvious when I saw it.
And I just wish they had it went from, like he said, drama to drama. Like somebody need to get that boy. Somebody need to get that boy to Pfizer. That's what.
Gory. The word's gory.
It was like give this guy blood transfusion.
Yeah, and looking at the
hold on. Back in the Ruthless Aggression days, they used to bleed like that on a nightly basis.
Yeah, but that was back when we didn't know better.
I'm just saying they used to do that. I know. It's like back in the barbaric days. There were barbaric days back then.
Yeah, I'm all for a little color to heighten the match. But that was like way too much. I think it took away from the match.
It didn't bother me as a former in-ring competitor back in the day. It didn't bother me. But I can see where it bothered others. I can.
Yeah.
Especially the casual fan. Well,
no, I love bloody matches, ECW type thing. But
I don't see. Okay, hold on, real quick. I like ECW. I don't like CZW like deathmatch shit. I hate that stuff.
Okay. Well, yeah. So.
I like when you throw people through fluorescent light bulbs. I don't see the point in that. Yeah.
Going on to other things that happened in the match. Before the match started, Cody broke Triple H's
oh my god.
drum.
This was the proverbial shot. This was the first proverbial shot thrown in terms of like in history. Yeah, this was a moment that will be focused like the Lex Luger coming to Nitro situation was.
Oh, without a doubt. And during the match, Brandy attacked Dustin a couple times. That's going to be awkward when they go to dinner afterwards.
Oh, it's going to be even more awkward after the match. He asked him to be his partner. After spending the whole build-up talking about I'm going to retire him.
Yeah.
So
and don't worry and then saying in story, don't worry, my wife just ate your fucking gut.
But if WWE that, oh my god, dude, it's insulting our intelligence. Like, do you see the hypocrisy though? Yes.
If they did it right, I would like it. It just depends how it's done.
And you thought that was done correctly, Mitch?
No, I said if the WWE did it, I would be fine with it if it was done right. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
But I think that everybody bitch about that when WWE breaks their rules or go off a storyline, and people say they don't want their intelligence like fucking.
That's not me though. Yeah, I get that's other people, not me.
Yet this whole match and afterwards insulted the intelligence. Like,
yeah. Like,
I don't know if insulted intelligence, it just went a little too far because they were trying to knock a home run out and they didn't realize that dusting cut a little bit too deep. You can't undo it when you cut or gig. You can't undo the gig. You know what I mean?
I ain't talking about. I don't think we're talking about the gig. We get the gig. We're talking about the whole. I'm gonna knock you out. I'm gonna put you out the pasture, and then after the match, I want you to be my brother.
Well, it's part of the storyline of like they beat the fuck out of each other. That's what the blood came out. They beat the fuck out of each other, and as family, like I do. And two of my best friends were brothers. They beat the fuck out of each other one time, and they earned more respect out of each other than that whole one moment than they had their whole life. So I kind of got that. I kind of understood it.
What, he got an epiphany after he cut his brother halfway?
It's an unspoken thing. It's an unspoken thing of respect. After you beat the shit out of each other, and you realize, oh, this guy's got something, and you look into each other's eyes while you're doing it, there's a respect that comes out of that. I can understand that. Because that's outside of cage, that's what happens when you're in the ring. Like when you're wrestling another person, if we're good.
But Mitch, didn't you kind of feel the line, I'm not looking for a friend or a partner, I'm looking for a brother? That was kind of corny.
Because he's going against the Young Bucks. He's going against the Young Bucks.
I
get where he's going with it.
He basically did what his dad did, like in WCW. That's basically the verbatim mixed with a couple words. The whole speech with between Dustin and Dustin.
Anyone that's giving this either too much credit or too much hate needs to calm the fuck down. This was only their first show. This is only a starting point, in my opinion.
I'm giving. They're getting just as much criticism as I would a regular TV show.
Right, I'm just telling you. I'm not giving it. I'm just saying. Even the people who are on the bandwagon who don't really know the behind-the-scenes stuff, you got to give it more time. Haters and bandwagoners. You can't. You just take this one show and give it a blanket judgment.
Next thing up, they did the AEW World Championship presentation while they actually cleaned Goldust's blood off the mat.
No, you have to eat first. Give it to Daddy.
Yeah, it was a visual thing. But the belt looks like a mix between the New Japan title.
You can't have all of this.
We're having a problem with the background noise, Coleco. The background noise is kind of drowning out your noise, our ability to hear you.
All right, you got go sit down over in your high chair.
1 second. But I think the belt it looks nice. Pretty damn big. But it's nice.
I mean, at this point, any belt that isn't a WWE belt looks nice.
Yeah, the 24/7 belt just looks like the WBA boxing title shit out a horrible bastard baby.
Yeah, it does.
That's descriptive.
It
does look like the WBC.
It's also accurate if you go look up the WBA boxing title.
Yeah.
So Bret Hart did the ceremony with Jack Whitehall.
That shocked me. Well, I mean, it's like 20 years too late. WCW didn't use him right, so now AEW is using him.
Yeah. And then okay, so this was probably one of the loudest reactions of the night. This was probably one of the loudest reactions, and it was negative to MJF. He got booed. Yeah.
MJF is a heel star. He's already a heel star.
Oh, without doubt. They chanted asshole so loudly.
He's only 22. He's got so much more potential to unlock.
Oh, fuck him.
No, No, but the good thing about it is he is a good guy, and he's good at playing this character to act like a dick. He's a really nice kid. He would never want anyone to say he's a nice guy because that would ruin his gimmick.
Yeah.
Makes sense.
Yeah. All right. That brings us to the AAA World Tag Team Champions match: the Young Bucks versus the Lucha Bros. And the Young Bucks defeated the Lucha Bros to retain the titles. This was probably one of the highest.
I have a note on that real quick. Both Pentagon and Ray sustained injuries in that match, to where they had to cancel bookings.
Yeah, and I feel it was a good match. It was probably the best match on the card.
Well, it was the main event, or it was the semi-main event. Yeah.
Yeah, and the people freaking popped for that match. People loved it. And before the match even started, we were doing Zero Fear like 10,000 times.
Zero Miedo.
Yeah, from the beginning I was like, yeah, Zero Miedo, Zero Miedo, Zero Miedo. By the 100th time I was like, fucking touch already. I'm tired.
For Californians, we should all at least have some basic knowledge of Spanish. Because I've honestly forgotten more Spanish than most people have learned in their lives. Back in high school, I was in advanced Spanish, so yeah.
Well, I'm trying to learn Japanese.
I'm learning Japanese, I really think so. It's a good
overall, this match wasn't that. I mean, it was good. It was a good match.
Probably the best match on the card.
Good exchange. I mean, it was a good show.
Well,
high lucha style. It was a really good match.
Yeah, ditto.
Yeah, and but it makes me wonder how much more could they have done if Penta and Phoenix weren't injured.
Oh, and that's what I'm trying to tell you guys. It's the first card. We got a long ways to go with so many other better pay-per-views, because something Cody said at the later on at the media briefing that he acknowledged. He said every pay-per-view's got to be better than the one before. So that's a brilliant business philosophy to go by. So I'm just looking forward to the future.
Yeah,
I'm really hyped for it. And so that was a good match, and then we're going into Jericho and Omega.
Yeah, that brings us to the last match. Kenny Omega was lost to Chris Jericho in the last match of the night, the main event.
Which I called it.
Yeah, I said Jericho won too.
Oh, did you? Okay, then we both called it.
Yeah.
I was more depending
you
on
and
who
Scott
won.
said Omega. I think Scott said Omega too.
Well, because I was like Omega depending on who won the Battle Royal. Because I was like, if it's a face winning the Battle Royal, then
here's the thing. I said Ambrose because I didn't know. Well, I kind of had a feeling they'd bring him in the way they did at the end, and so in the back of my head, I honestly was thinking Paige, especially after the Pac Hangman thing happened. I was almost sure, but I just kept it inside. But it was kind of obvious if you think about it.
Just starting off from the beginning, Jericho came out to a special entrance. I thought this was awesome. Back the Lionheart, then the List, then the Light Up Jacket.
It's his whole career, yeah. It's all of his evolutions.
Yeah.
Yeah, hey, you remember the WWE stuff? Now look at me.
Shut up.
That's basically what he did. Like, I swear to God. Like, for this to be so like WWE, they had a lot of WWE jabs and innuendo.
Well, that's because all of that shit was, like, until a year ago, his whole career's been WWE. Well, besides the WCW point, you know what I mean, though. Because they own that now. So, what?
For damn near 20.
Yeah. Well, if you count the WCW stuff, over 20. So, yeah.
But the last 20 years of his career has been in WWE.
Right.
Yeah.
Right, exactly, yeah.
I'm just going to say it. This was not as good as the New Japan match.
No, not
No.
at all. And there wasn't enough hype like there was under the first one. Like the first match was must see, in my opinion.
Yes.
And it didn't have the same fight with this one.
Oh, without a doubt.
Because they went from a fight to a wrestling match, and it was everything that new. It was like the B version of the New Japan match. To me,
Yeah.
we're doing.
I can't disagree with you.
They were doing everything that was just like the street fight. So when I'm looking at this stuff, and this is why I said what I said earlier. Other than being not WWE, what did they do that was no different than what they did in New Japan and ROH? Because I could look. Everyone's looking at it with rose-colored glasses. I'm like, huh, that's the same spot from here. Huh, that's the same spot from here. Oh, they're borrowing this from here. Which is fine. I'm not knocking that. I'm not knocking it. Do what you do that makes it work. But don't come at me saying that that's the greatest thing since sliced bread or is the brand new song.
Anyone who says that is an idiot. No, it's just the first ever alternative, finally, for something different for people that are disenfranchised with the current WWE product that refuses to change. That's all.
And that's good and all, but I got people saying that they're going to overlap them up.
We've already been through all that. I know.
Yeah. And that is the killer, boy.
Like I said, you can't give all of the stupidity credence. You see what I'm saying? You can't give, just because people think ridiculous things doesn't mean you have to give that ridiculous thought weight. Do you see what I'm saying?
Nah, somebody got to give the kids a whooping, and it might as well be me.
But like give it a whooping and then like get
Big Daddy Kadiko.
I
what I'm saying?
I would hit a topic and then I wouldn't bring it up again because I would feel, I already beat him on it. You know what I mean? Yeah.
I'm gonna make these kids go get the switch. And speaking of switch, Jericho switches to the back elbow, which I don't know what the hell that.
He needed a old more
new finisher after trying to.
I'm not gonna say non-athletic, but like a more like just generic way to hit a finisher. And that's where he went. And it's a martial art move people got used to seeing. People have gotten used to seeing people get knocked out that way. So yeah. Sorry.
Yeah, I was going to bring up Omega broke his nose during the match. It was pretty nasty.
From what? Was it from the elbow?
No, he broke his nose
from the elbow. It was just.
Okay, I didn't think it was. I was gonna say that would have been bad on Jericho. So
I think it was like an elbow. I think it was like when they were feeling each other out.
I mean, I'm talking about the end elbow. Okay.
Oh no, he hit an elbow earlier, but it was like an inadvertent elbow that just cracked his nose.
I was talking about the spinning elbow that he.
Oh no, it didn't come from the face.
Yeah, that he showed on the previews coming up to Double or Nothing, where he showed off his new finisher. It's the Judas.
The
Judas effect.
The Judas effect. It's the Judas.
No, not experience. I had it on my mind. Oh my!
It's the Judas effect, right?
Judas effect. Yeah.
Judas effect.
Yeah.
Judas effect, yep.
It should be the Judas Vikings.
I like the name of it. I just like that.
Yeah, the Judas experience.
Yeah.
The Judas Viking experience.
Yeah.
No, the Judas metal hair band experience.
I mean, Chris Jericho. Like Judas, that song Judas is like his only hit, and he's milking it for every like dollar and cent that it's fucking worth.
I jokingly, I say something. I don't know how Fozzy got their name, but I make a joke about it. Like it's not true at all. So when you hear this, it's just a joke, everyone. But I say, do you know how Fozzy got their name? Ozzy Osbourne was fucking with them, drunk as fuck, and they just said, "Fuck Ozzy, Fozzy." Oh, okay.
I was thinking Fozzie Bear from I ain't even gonna lie to you.
Sorry, that was a bad joke. Go ahead.
Yeah,
sorry.
nobody fucking knows. Okay, so back to the match. When Omega broke his nose, it kind of seemed like he was like a step off after that.
Yeah, because he's got to breathe out of his mouth the match.
Yeah, that's a bitch, dude. No, if you got a broken nose, it changes everything. It changes everything in terms of what you're doing, because then you're taking in oxygen completely differently. It kind of doubles. It makes the air thinner to where you're in a higher, like as if you were in a higher elevation. like even
And
higher.
you gotta make sure fluid doesn't fucking fuck
It's
with
bad,
you.
but someone like Kenny Omega, who's trained his body to, you know, if anyone can do it, it's him, you know. So
yeah, he pulled it off, but I just still think. Like,
but the normal person would have gotten. My point is, if that was just a normal Joe off the street wrestling, they would have gotten blown up in the first minute after the nose broke.
Yeah, you're
Like
probably
from breathing heavy out of their. Yeah,
and it was they went like a long time after Omega broke his nose, so he's like a trooper. He went the most of that match with
that's
a broken
what a good
nose.
wrestler does.
Yep.
Yeah. Yep.
So Jericho hits the Judas effect for the win. I definitely popped. I love Jericho. I'm a Jericho mark.
I love Jericho. I always love Jericho. He was one of my first after Bret Hart in Austin. I was one of the first people to get on the Jericho bandwagon when he was in ECW, like long before WCW.
Yeah, well, I haven't
so
been.
I was one of the early bandwagoners. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That knew of him before a lot of others did.
And he just reinvents himself that makes him so much entertaining. You know what I mean?
Even when he was young back then, he to me as a like 12, 13, 14-year-old kid, he stuck out as a superstar. Maybe not now because we're pushing him that way, but he reeked like the aura of like his personality. It just reeked out of the camera to the audience, you know? Yeah. Like there's nothing you could do no matter how bad of you know.
He's an acting boisterous guy.
That you right against him that you can't keep his personality down. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I think that's more because he's like the last of the Mohicans when it comes to like.
But I'm talking about back
actually being. I'm just. But that's what I'm saying. He's the last of the Mohicans as far as like being everywhere, like Canada, Mexico, Japan. He actually stayed with those.
More people are doing that nowadays.
No, I'm talking about as far as like not only being with the big time, but being with the small time as well.
Yeah,
and I think taking the best. He's taking the best of everything and just taking it all in and just like giving him some creative juices, man.
That's what makes him the best. Because he evolves. He doesn't just stick with one thing for too long. He keeps finding ways to evolve, like James said.
And I'd like to say he gets a bad rap from fans, like as a bad guy. But that's
just him working the crowd sometimes, you know.
Yeah, but I've met Chris Jericho, and he couldn't have been any nicer to me. So
okay, real quick, let me say something. Jericho is an old school guy in terms of he likes to stay in character. So if he's in a character of an asshole, he's gonna be an asshole. That doesn't mean he's an asshole. He's not.
Yeah, exactly.
But he is a Picasso. He's an artist, so he will go that extra route to make it seem like he's an asshole. You see what I'm saying?
Yes, he definitely does that.
Oh yeah.
After the match,
and there's an art in that. There's an art in that. Yeah. Go ahead. Sorry.
What?
Oh, no, I was just saying there's a fine art in that. I think it's an art.
Okay, yeah. So after the match, Jericho got on the mic. He wanted everybody to thank him for winning the match. I thanked him because I like Jericho. And then suddenly Jon Moxley came out and attacked Jericho, gave him
they did the swerve there, yeah.
Yeah, the underhook DDT on Jericho. Then he gave the referee a DDT. And then he tried to give one to Omega. And then they started to wrestle. They started to fight, I should say, around the arena. Like, oh my god, this guy just broke his nose and had like a really long match. And now he's doing an extra segment fighting Jon Moxley.
He's Kenny Omega. That's why he's Kenny Omega, because he can do all that shit. But real quick, no, go ahead. Finish what you. Go ahead. Finish what you were saying.
I wasn't saying anything.
Oh, you didn't finish your. I thought you weren't finished with what you were saying.
No, I was done. I was just saying that yeah, it's crazy how professional Kenny is. That he got dropped on his head and off the stage by Moxley, and then he got up and then thanked the fans for coming to the show.
Yeah. What they did was they did it. They made it seem like at first that it was going to be Dean and Jericho going at it, and then by the end of it, it was not Dean, sorry, John Moxley, and that's going to take some getting used to. And then John Moxley, it evolves into being Moxley versus Omega. So in terms of like the upcoming feud, you know.
Yeah. And that's going to be a really good feud. Especially Omega could really get a lot out of Moxley.
Oh, and Moxley's first AEW match has been announced. You heard who he's facing before that? Joey Janela.
Yeah.
Joey Janela, yeah.
Hopefully he'll regain his eyesight by then.
Yeah. Kayfabe, James.
But yeah, after all that and after the match ended, it was.
By the way,
I was like, okay, you know, the way the match ended in the pop, I was like, kind of figured.
Did anyone see in the Battle Royal the cigarette spot where he had a cigarette on his head?
Oh yeah.
He did, but it was like. It wasn't touching his skin. The burning point was sticking up. It was so obvious if you saw it. It was like they stuck it to his forehead to where it wouldn't burn him.
Yeah. Jimmy Havoc stapled it to him, right?
If you see it, if you watch carefully, he continues to wrestle with the damn thing stuck to his head, a burning cigarette.
Yeah.
And so you had to have had a strong adhesive to have done that. Yeah.
Yep. Alright, and that was, that's how they ended the paid preview. If I'm being honest, it was a good show, but I'd say that it was a happy medium. I wouldn't say that it was like the greatest fucking show ever, but it certainly wasn't the worst either.
Okay, real quick, right. I know real quick, but real quick, it was just a start. Like I said, haters and bandwagoners alike. Slow your horses. Either way, slow down. This is just a starting point. This was a decent starting point. Let's see what happens from here on.
Yeah,
I would say I say a C plus. And to me, and the reason I say that is because you don't want to start off saying it's the A because you're going to have that high expectation. Going through.
Now they have an expectation, and so now they can go forward.
Expectation.
We can go bigger than that, yeah. And now they know.
And now they have this dilemma where they're stuck till August for the next televised show.
Oh
no!
Televised
show is June.
I mean, hold on.
But I don't think it's televised.
But it's going to be on all of their socials, and that gets a lot of eyes.
Yeah, my point is in this day and age where the attention span is very quick, and this is and I think this is with
they'll quickly be able to know where to go find it. That's my point.
But my point is that they got the hardcore, they need the casual.
Right, and Omega said that perfectly, and that's what they're going to be doing.
And that's the thing.
That's what they're doing with Fyter Fest. They're going after gamers, and then they're going to go in that way to try to get gamers.
Yeah, they could do that. That's fine. But in the meantime,
they've already got the what's it called? Like the foundations of the ideas together. Like they're already starting.
But as I'm saying, from here to August, there's no televised show.
Oh, it does be
I know.
Other than being elite, but you're also looking at.
I think that helps because with WWE, you get a show not just every week, 2 a week, sometimes 3 a week with NXT, and then a pay-per-view every month, sometimes 2 within 30 days. It gets too much to where there's nothing special. Like they just quote unquote busted their nut and didn't keep any creative ideas for the future. And so I feel like spanning it out more gives you an ability to span out your creative ideas more and not bust your nuts.
I love how everybody gets with WWE because they're the sun. But my point is that the WWE is the sun of the wrestling world for some odd reason. Because everyone keeps bringing them up. I'm not even putting.
I made a comparison so people I was only making a comparison so the listeners understood.
No. I'm not. I get that, but what I'm saying is that in between that time frame, we have Takeover Tomorrow. We have the beginnings of the G into Dallas.
I haven't been hyped for a takeover in a while. Just saying.
You see what I'm saying? It's so much that's now going to be flooded because not only just WWE, but New Japan's show, the first 2 nights of the G1 in Dallas is 5th and 6th.
It's already been getting that way. Not like it is now, but it's been slowly coming to that.
Oh, what I'm saying is there's going to be so much wrestling other than theirs that's going to be flooding the market that it's going to be easy for them to get caught in that backburner.
You're right. Yeah, you're right.
That's where I'm saying they should have done it to pay attention. If I were them, I would still do the show in Chicago, but I would have that championship match on their TNT show.
I would too. I would wait until Tuesday. And I don't know if it's confirmed, but I know it's going to be Tuesday Night Dynamite. That's the show name and the night.
Cool.
I've been right up and down. Just trust me. When I say trust me. I've seen the logo and all that shit. So
I think it is Tuesday Night Dynamite, but
no, it is. People keep saying, "Oh no, it's gonna be Wednesday." No, they've already trademarked Tuesday night.
Yeah, but my point is that they're going to be.
It's going to be interesting with SmackDown on Tuesdays as well.
Well, they're moving to Fridays.
It's going to Friday. There'll be a Fridays by then.
Okay.
They're moving to Friday. So
they took Tuesday. There's going to be an open market on Tuesday, and that's what AEW is going to take or try to take.
Yeah, they're taking that which is fine because you get wrestling what?
I think it's smart.
4 out of 5 days, Monday, Tuesday.
I think when you're trying to get a field for the mainstream, I think it's smart to get on a day that's already established as where there's wrestling, and then if you try to go watch the SmackDown, SmackDown's not on. What else is AEW? See what I'm saying? For the casual viewer.
Yeah, but I mean, you could watch wrestling on any day at this point. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday.
I'm just saying on a Tuesday when that happens for the casual viewer.
And if you watch New Japan, you're watching.
And that's a good strategy.
And if you're watching the G1, you're watching nothing but wrestling for 1 month.
Yeah. If you're watching all of the wrestling that's on all of you've gone too far, and you probably don't want to ever watch wrestling again. There's just too much.
But and that's the point I'm making.
I'm at that point, guys.
I see. That's why I can't. I make sure I don't burn myself out because I know. I used to do that. Go ahead.
It's no longer AEW versus WWE. It's AEW versus New Japan. It's AEW versus Ring of Honor.
I think it's WWE versus the Indies as a group. That's what I
don't think so. I don't think.
I do. I mean, in a larger scale, not on the face of things, but in terms of behind the curtain, because they are sharing talent. They are doing things. But do you think
fans coming over here just to play nice? New Japan's not coming over here as far as business to play nice. They're plumbing to try to make it.
Okay, hold on. Oh wait, that was scheduled way before AEW was even an idea.
But that's the point I'm making.
But they can also better their North American hold on things if they work with AEW because they're not going to be able to get WWE to work with them. So if they work with the other big company in America like AEW, that's a foot in America.
New Japan just taking anybody that's going to get them eyeballs at this point because they're working with.
No, not with this one because they know the Bucks and all that in Omega. Not only have they worked for them, but they bring in money for them. They have brought in they're approving commodities, and so they.
Then how come they couldn't get a Tanahashi for Double or Nothing?
Because I think that was more on Tanahashi.
But that's my point. Like,
I don't think they wanted Tanahashi because he's too old.
It's not. It's just an analogy, Mitch. Like an Okada,
I know, but I don't.
Naito.
Okay, yeah, because they don't want
a Naito.
Hear me out. I think that's coming in the fall when the TV comes. I don't think that's coming because you got to save some surprises, don't you? Otherwise, what I said, you quote unquote bust your nut if you do all that too early.
Well,
if you reveal your cards too soon.
I'll put it this way. I'm going to wait until they do TV format.
Yeah, there might still be some secrets. That's all I'm saying.
I'm going to wait till they do the TV format because...
okay, fair enough.
Because to me, everyone's comparing it to Raw, and I'm like, bro, that was a pay-per-view. But they didn't have to deal with TV timeouts and sponsors.
I compared it as... Yeah, I didn't.
So to me, I'm going to wait till the show starts. Wait till the show starts.
That's very fair.
That would be an apples to apples comparison.
By then, they're going to have a lot more organization and time built in by then. So if they don't have it down by then I think your criticism will be like, I'll agree with it. But until then, you got to give them a chance. Like this is the first show.
They had 4 months to this, and it
first
still
show.
was like
for a first show, it wasn't that bad. It could have gone a lot worse, buddy.
And there was a lot of hiccups during it too.
Yeah, but it could have gone a lot worse.
I do got a question for Jay.
One of your dream main events.
What?
Pac and Hangman.
Yeah, you lost. Yeah, you lost Pac and Hangman.
Yeah, that
was a week before the show.
I told you why that happened. I told you.
Yeah, literally.
But they could have negotiated something before the fact.
I know, but Neville, I think, was locked on him wanting to win.
Yeah, but
they want to push Hangman.
Now here's the question.
You know what I would have done? I would have built that rivalry while giving them other matches. You can do that. You should have done that.
No, because everyone knows that the AEW is basically the Hangman Page show at this point. But it's planning to be. But Jay, I got a question because you were in the crowd, right?
Yeah.
Everybody that was there, I'm assuming were adults and up, right?
Yeah, pretty much.
No kids popping off in the crib up in that joint.
Wait, hold on. There was a sensory area for people like kids.
No.
And
autism.
Yeah, there was an area for that people didn't see. So.
Would it be fair to say that demographic was the same demographic that was at the Japan show in Long Beach?
Roughly around the same demographic. But when you go to indie shows, you get that. You get mostly.
You get that.
You get that kind of crowd.
I already agree with you. I know, but I get where you're coming from.
I went to a NXT event a couple times actually, and it was
even NXT has that feel.
Adult males.
Adult males, yeah.
And,
when I went to the last NXT I went to, it was honestly pretty mixed. I saw a lot of women there.
Yeah, well, no, I mean men, women, but adults, not families. You know,
I saw families.
That's where I'm going.
Well, okay, hold on. I'll be fair. I saw more adults than families, but I did see families there. Let's put it that way.
Well, yeah, there's gonna be some families, but like
I
the
saw a decent amount of kids. Yeah, but I mean, there were a good amount of families where in my last. This was like 2016, so this was a while back.
Yeah, but if you watch WWE TV, there are in the front row families with kids.
Right.
In the front row.
Because they aim it that way. It's PTG or it's TBG.
But like AEW, Ring of Honor,
they're trying to go TV-14.
You'll see more adult male and females.
TV-14, and that's what the market's been missing, a TV-14 product for the wrestling market. Or the mainstream wrestling market, mainstream.
I could make the argument New Japan, the way that they handle it is
mainstream American market. Mainstream American market.
We'll see. They're entering the market. Mainstream, not yet. You know, they're
Okay, well, they got more people talking about them than I saw someone like a influencer. I was just watching like live streams and stuff, and I saw their chat and these were not wrestling people, just rating their chats with El Ciro Miro or stuff about AEW.
And that's good.
And this was the day after that. Yeah.
That's good.
You don't want
that's what I'm trying to tell you.
Well,
I have seen this. I've seen this. Yeah.
Yeah.
But I also seen this when New Japan first popped off, and everybody was like, "Oh my God!"
I never saw. No. Wait, hold on. Not to this scale. I'm seeing it on a scale where it was almost the day after on Sunday. Everyone was talking about it in terms of like where I saw people I was talking to, people that I saw online, and they didn't know wrestling, and they were bringing it up, and love it. It just brought back the late 90s to me. It was amazing.
I wouldn't go that far.
Yeah. I mean, it brought back okay, hold on. Don't twist my words. I mean, it brought back the feeling of the beginning of a possible resurgence of the 90s. That's what I meant.
And that's where I think a lot of people are, like, they're hoping. That. But to me, I'm thinking there's no way that's going to happen.
Okay, well, I think it is. I think it's already past the point of no return.
For sure. An alternative for sure. A war? I don't see it.
I think down the road, like they won't mean for it to be a war, but I think down the road, AEW's, if WWE doesn't change the product, if they continue doing what they're doing, I think the fans will give their voice in a way of ratings, and then WWE will be the number 2, so to speak, in ratings, and so they'll have to better themselves and change what they're doing. Well, and that's what I.
Did you see
It's just for Vince to open his mind.
Well, if pay-per-view buys are any indication, the pay-per-view did 98,000 buys.
Okay, that's not bad.
That's not bad.
Yeah, it already beat Double or it already beat All In.
And that's at 50 a pop, way more than All In.
So
we'll see.
Yeah, that's like $20 per buy, $20 extra per buy.
Yeah, we're gonna have again. It's we will bring up this. We will have this document. Of what?
The buy. Oh, sorry. What did you say?
The buy rate.
The buy rate.
I was saying that's a great first-time buy rate for them, and that the amount that from All In, it was like $20 less. And what I'm saying is, they did it was $20 more per person to buy Double or Nothing, and so they got $20 extra per buy, and that's a lot of money. That's millionaire figures.
Yeah. And we will. I'm sure we're gonna bring up a lot of these subjects in October when SmackDown moves to Fridays on Fox. AEW moves to Tuesdays on TNT. I'm gonna have to referee another match between Coleco and Mitch.
Personally, I think there's no competition. To me, as long as. Because everyone keeps saying, "Oh, WWE, blah 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 blah. They're poor, they're creative, shitty," but they're raking in more money than they ever have.
Okay, so why is hold on. Money is not the only thing that everyone. Hold on. Yeah, money's good, but now there is someone who can match the money and give a better, like a better atmosphere and a better feeling and treat their
No.
Yes.
When I say they're raking in money, they're raking in stockholder money.
That's what private corporations are. I mean, that's what public corporations do.
Right. So my point is, when it comes to the finances, AEW's lacking.
Okay, but where there's also another flip side of that sword, where that is a money help catalyst for WWE. That's a creative hindrance for them because corporation styles create so much red tape, it destroys creative functioning. Whereas with the private AEW, whatever they feel like they go with it. Whatever feels right. And like Cody said, he saw John, aka Dean Ambrose, John Moxley, unhinging in the ring from the shell that WWE put on him.
I mean, I get it. I mean, I get that.
Okay, and here's the thing. So many people don't tell their stories publicly, Coleco. Just only CM Punk and now Ambrose. I've heard these Ambrose type stories or
Ultimate Warrior didn't tell his story. Like,
okay,
I mean,
I'm talking about. Hear me out. I'm talking about like the normal wrestler. I've heard it from almost. I'm talking about a majority of people that I know that have watched. I've heard horror stories worse than that. But because they're not a big name, people don't give a fuck about them yet, you know? So
yeah, I guess. But to me,
just give it more time. Just give it more time, man. It's just a starting point.
Oh, I have no problem giving it more time.
Yeah, I thought the first match on Wrestling with Entertainment was going to be me and Mitch, but we're already setting up round 2 with Coleco and Mitch for this October.
Hey man, all I know is they gotta keep that bus because all I know is May to August is a long fucking time when you talk about.
Yeah, months or 30 days. Yeah.
There's no AEW talk in August. It's more or less just G1 talk. But that's what my life has come to.
Well, and news of the week. You know, news happens all day, every day.
Yeah,
so.
of course.
G1, SummerSlam, and that's my point. It's a lot of TV hours. And
there's a lot. The product is, you're right. Yeah, people got to be careful not to saturate the product because there's going to be so much out there. Yeah, you're right.
I mean, I feel like I watch something.
People are going to have to stand out. There's so much wrestling. They're going to have to find a way to stand out. People have to find a way to stand out of the pack.
Exactly. That's my point. Like, WWE's already ingrained. What are you going to do to separate yourself from ROH, who has a deal with Sinclair?
They're the ghost of the good part of the ghost of WCW, and that's what I'm seeing in it. So we'll just give it time. As the week goes on, I think we'll learn more stuff. Weeks go on.
Yeah.
Because everybody was like, "Oh my God, there's something," and I'm like, "So when's the next show?" Oh, and I'm like, "Yeah,
Tuesday."
It's a long time, man. It's a long.
People, anyone who's saying, "Oh yeah, AEW's the best already," don't know what the fuck they're talking about. This was just a starting point.
Okay.
But it was a decent starting point compared to what we've had for the last 20 years of a monopoly from WWE. Okay.
Alright, and that will conclude this episode of Wrestling with Entertainment. If you like the show, please like, subscribe, and comment. Tell us what you like. Tell us what you don't like. Take Mitch to task on AEW. Take Coleco to task on AEW.
Yeah. Please, join my side. I know what I'm talking about. I actually used to wrestle.
Hashtag Team Mitch.
No, but I get Coleco's side of it, but I know.
I'm trying to be the reasonable one, and I'm still there.
I think, you know what, Coleco? I think we are both the reasonable ones, just to different audiences.
And
you get my point in that?
And you can take both of them to task on Twitter. Please give your Twitter, guys.
Yeah, you can find me at Mitch Mayhem X on Twitter.
I am Coleco. Y'all know where I'm at. I am Coleco, and I've been getting the smoke anyway. So I've
been trying. If he doesn't even message his one of his co-hosts, I doubt he's gonna message anyone listening. He doesn't even talk to me.
No, I've been too busy fending people off.
I've been trying to message you for like 2 months.
Back off, she-devil.
But Mitch, I have his phone number, and he don't text message me. I'm like, oh, could you do the show at this time? And he's like, yep. And I said, okay, cool. And that's literally our conversation on text message.
Well, it's as easy as it's got to be when you don't have to get a hold of someone or go out of your way to fucking get a pincher carry in to get a hold of someone, for crying out loud. Jesus.
Yeah, I think there might be a match before October between you guys.
A verbal match. Yeah.
You will have to
but
wait for that.
We have respect for each other, though. We got it's all respect.
It's all out of love. I only because I love them. You remember your dad used to say that? I only give you a whooping because I love you and I want you to know better. Know better.
Well, it's the same way. I want you to learn I want you to see or experience or hear what I've experienced and been through. You know what I mean? As a former performer.
Yeah.
That's our perspective.
It's a different perspective, exactly.
All right. For my co-host Coleco Yacht, Mitch Mayhem, I am James J, and this has been Wrestling with Entertainment.